Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Mr. Charles, Kathy, Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Rob.
Morning.
Perfect. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Rob.
Good morning. This is the troopers here on a holiday. Let's see. I gotta get mine. So the question I have before we go into business planning for ourselves and our team is, what is success in 2025 going to look like? And then we have to reverse engineer it. Deep question. Uh, I'm gonna ask Mr. Horn, what does that look like for you?
Double in sales volume.
Huh?
Double in
All right.
sales volume.
And what does that mean?
Means generate commission that's 2 times what I have now
And
by making changes.
what are you gonna do with the residual for that? You're gonna put it away for retirement? You're gonna splurge?
No, retirement, mostly retirement.
And how many more years before you retire?
Probably 10.
And do you see yourself bringing on team members?
Yes. Initially maximize myself with maybe an assistant and then grow it from there.
Okay. And when do you
I need to get very clear.
when do you anticipate hiring an assistant, and will it be full or part-time?
I don't know yet. That's all the stuff I've got to think through, obviously.
Will it be offshore or locally based, licensed, unlicensed?
I would think locally and licensed.
Okay. Gotcha. So and then I would even go deeper and figure out, how you're going to apportion the additional revenue that you bring in for retirement and other expenditures as well. But you kind of get where I'm going at here with what does success mean, right? It doesn't just mean
Absolutely.
doesn't just mean doubling the business, right?
Correct.
Say 8:45.
And I see Chopper, you're on the call and you're out pheasant hunting. Chopper, I guess you're on mute. You have to be quiet so you don't disturb the pheasants. Chopper. Technical difficulties. So I'll go to Michael. Michael,
I hope he's not.
same question.
I hope he's not out with Dick Cheney. I hope he's not out pheasant shitting with Dick Cheney.
Yes,
I had to say it. Sorry.
That would not be good. Michael Gopi.
Yeah, so 2025, our goal that our team's gonna set is to help as much people as possible. I want to make it a more the goal about the team and helping everybody succeed, not only just myself. So each of my 5 team members, I already sat with them. Their goal is to make the 100% club, each of them individually. So I'm gonna set a plan with them of how I'm gonna help take them from point A to point B, and that plan is gonna be all about helping people. I'm doing home seminars that we did one recently where we had about 15 people come to a home seminar that we had, and we converted about almost all 15 we're gonna convert. 3 of them already found the house first, so it's just really getting involved with the community, getting out there, and just helping people.
All right. So Michael had an awesome home buyer seminar. You said about 15 people there, right?
Yeah, 15 families.
All right. And then was there somebody brought like their sister, right, to the event, and they were inspired to get their license? Is that still true or no?
Yeah, still true. I already gave her the information of how to get the license, and And these events, you meet a lot of. It's also networking. So yes, I have a potential agent incoming to join my team from that event.
Yeah, and I think probably half of the team members that you have that didn't own a house were inspired to make more money to buy a house. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. So Frank, the lender, and he does an amazing job. He actually sat with each of my team members individually and created a plan for each of them. And he basically educated them, created a plan how they get approved. So one team member in the next 6 months is gonna buy their house. So Frank ran their credit, created a plan, tell them exactly what he needed to do. So it's not only just me, it's just the other team members got very motivated on top of the buyers in that event. So it was really powerful to see.
Right. So and Michael, I love your answer about you want to help a lot of people. Let me ask you, you, you know, uh, what does financial success look like for you outside of the team?
Financial, you mean me individually?
You individually, yeah.
Yeah, so me individually, financial success, I would my goal financially is to add more properties to my portfolio. So I'm in the field of real estate because I love helping people, but I really love real estate. I'm very passionate about it. So my goal is to add 2 investment properties in 2025.
And what does that mean to you though when you do all that?
It means that I'm helping my family. I'm helping my 3-year-old son that's gonna turn 4 to set up a bright future for him to take over my business.
And then and what does that mean to you though? Right, but what does that mean like beyond having a lot more zeros in the bank account? What does that mean?
It means that I have the flexibility to do whatever I want to do. I could be free. If I want to go in a weekend, I go to Europe. Which, if I want to go anywhere, I don't have anything that's holding me back to enjoy my life. Also, so I work hard, and I get to enjoy my life by working hard and traveling and buying properties and just taking care of my family. Everything's about family to me. So making sure my family's happy.
Not
Right.
having a plan B.
So yeah, it's not having a plan B. So what I'm going to suggest is, and a lot of times I have these like moments where things just strike me, and most people, when you ask them what does financial success mean, they say it's independence. I can do whatever I want to do, but they don't define what they want to do, right? So I don't know. Maybe financial success is you want to take off 3 weeks and go to Europe and fly business class, or fly in somewhere that you haven't done before, right? And be a little bit more granular with that, and then go back to the Zig Ziglar quote. Helping people get what they want, you'll have whatever it is that you want. But too many people say financial freedom, I can do whatever I want, but they don't define what they want. And I think that hinders their ability to really tap in and get leverage on themselves, because having more zeros in your bank account, it's not really exciting unless you figure out what does that mean to you. Does that make sense,
True.
Michael?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love every one of these calls. I take away something good. That's absolutely true. What you're saying.
So anyway, that's something that I'm trying to figure out for myself. Like, I love to work, but like, you know, what am I going to do differently? When I reach certain goals. Um, let's see. Leo, I think I owe you a call, right? Leo Arias, you can unmute, Mr. Leo. How about Kath? Leo? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, Leo? Guess we're not getting Leo. Kathy, how about you?
I think it's really to go back out traveling again. I haven't traveled since COVID. I think I've gotten on the plane once. So I would like to go and revisit some of the places that I saw in 2016 and 2017, have the freedom to do that and take really the good 10 days off without having to worry about the business. That would be pretty amazing.
So do you have a plan with Kenya or somebody to cover you if you were to go away?
Well, I'm actually interviewing right now. She actually approached me, so we're working on that right now. I got all the paperwork all set, meeting with her on Tuesday. So yeah, I do have a plan.
So how many of us have heard like I want to have financial independence? I want to be financially free, right? You've heard that before, right, Kathy?
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody's heard that. But you know, when I was listening to a podcast, you know, it just struck me that unless you know what you're going to do when you're financially free, you know, I can get up when I want, I can do whatever I want, but that's not an answer. Like, how does that impact you? You know, for me, I would like to see everyone that's running the team have that. You know, this is what I told Glenn that having a team is. And I don't know if you remember this early on, Glenn. Are you able to unmute?
I'm unmuted.
So my definition of having a team for Glenn was that you can go away for a month and come back richer than you were before you left. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah. And I did it for 6 weeks.
And boy, right. And boy, did you take that to an extreme.
I know moderation really well.
But it worked, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that you probably had that in your mind. I'm not taking credit for that, but I think that was, you know, part of our, you know, connection was that we shared that same value, right? Of having a team meant that it was generating revenue outside of us, right? Because a lot of people in real estate are so, you know, me centric, right? Everything has to revolve around me. I have to touch everything. And when you do that, you can never really grow and be truly free, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, anyway, that was not a stage thing. That was literally my vision of what a team is. And Glenn really took it and ran with it. And I think everybody has everybody has permission to copy Mr. Baker, copy my vision for what a team is, where you can, you know, go away to wherever you want to go for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, and come back wealthier than before you left. That's my vision of having a successful, profitable team, and it's a healthy team, and it's not selfish either because you built something that is self-sufficient, right?
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the financial benefits, Glenn, doesn't it feel good that you helped? Like we had a celebration for your grand opening, and you know, 80% of the team came typical. But it was just amazing at how many lives you impacted, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I sat back and what's Matt's last name?
Saporito.
Saporito. I sat back and you know chatted with him for a while. He just kept gushing about how you changed his life. He was like you were on the other side of a transaction, and then you guys just connected, and now he's like a different person,
It's cool.
right?
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
And I don't know, like, did you connect with him automatically when you did the deal, or what happened there? Because literally, you saw he had my ear the whole dinner.
He did. Yeah, when I submitted the offer and he called me back, we were on the phone from 11 o'clock at night till almost 1 in the morning.
Talking about like
The offer. And he couldn't believe what I was promising I was going to keep. And then when I did, he's like, I got to work with this guy. Closed 11 days, financed.
so
That
so it was his listing.
his listing.
So you pulled that off, and not only did you get the sale, but you won him over to being part of your culture and your team.
Yeah.
And literally, you know, I'm not just saying this because you know we're here talking, but like you were saying that conversation changed his life and his perspective on it.
Yeah.
And it has been how long has he been with us? 3 or 4 months?
Oh no, he's only 5 weeks right now.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's still on the honeymoon.
Yeah, but but he has made
You know,
immense progress, and he follows the process, right? Like, he's following how the other successful people on the team have done it, opposed to thinking he knows how he should do it. He's really just said, "Hey, here I am. Show me." Really cool.
and Glenn, how many people have left your team that were productive?
0?
We come back, how many?
0.
And how many are you afraid of leaving the team because they're gonna be like, oh, I don't need this team anymore. I've arrived.
I actually don't. I think the other way around. I think of how can I provide value so they don't leave. And I kind of approach the day like that. So I don't worry about that. I just continue to say, how do I provide value?
Now, when you do your business planning, do you go into what the financial result means to them, or maybe will you start to do that more?
No, I don't, I'm going to say that I do business planning a little differently than others, but well, I don't know if that's true, but we start with their vacation schedule and where they're going to go. And then we back into the number that they need to make that work. I don't start with like, can you pay your bills? Because if you can't pay your bills working with me, then you shouldn't be working with me. But the vacation, the things, the family trips, those things are what we start our business planning with, and then we back into the other numbers.
Right. Well, and I think everybody else does it the other way, right? And a lot of people don't even know what they're going to do with their success.
Yeah, I had a sobering event 2 years ago where someone said to me, "Oh, well, you're just about midlife." And then I was like, well, I am not anywhere near midlife. I'm like 15 years past it. Everyone thinks they have all this time. And I'm like, man, I got nothing. So I have to figure out how to do this now and not wait and not plan and not wait for Social Security to get my last 10 years of my life in. And I kind of took that perspective with how I plan the team's business as well. I'm like, you need to get out, you need a vacation, you need to recharge, and you need to live life before you're dead at 75.
Sobering, but impactful, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have those people and those stories that we hear about, and it's very tragic. And it's not tragic because they passed; it's tragic because they missed, right?
Yeah, there's so much to experience.
So think about how that whole process is kind of reversed. It's like, hey, what are you going to do? And let's figure out how we get you there. And that's like that's the leverage, to the extent that you have leverage plan, right? That's the leverage to get people to be more consistent, right?
Yep.
And I believe that people will do more to help another than they'll do for themselves. You believe that or no?
You broke up a little bit, Rob. Sorry.
I said, I believe people will do more to help another than they'll do for themselves
Oh, sure.
in
Absolutely.
general,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you were helping somebody, get their first listing, you'll probably put on a better performance than if you're just going on, your 29th for the year, right?
Yep.
Because you're trying to make a difference. So anyway, I appreciate you sharing that, and I do think that as we talk about these things, the why really does have a lot of impact. You know, I know, and then I've seen Mr. Is that Eric Pruitt? Eric,
Yes, hold on. Rob, you there? Can you hear me?
I am. So I can, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
I
me?
just got, yeah, I'm on the way to Mike's Ferry, so I just was a little bit
Y-
late getting on the call.
No, no worries. So,
Stuck in traffic.
so what was your vision board last year?
One thing was to get in shape and get down to 185 pounds.
And how close are you to that now?
Yesterday is 183.5.
So you can be low. So you
Yeah,
exceeded
it's a
your
little
goal.
lower. I exceeded my goal.
And do you mind sharing how much weight you lost?
Over 75 pounds.
Yeah, and Eric, it's been a while since I've seen you, man. You look great. Holy cow.
Yeah, thank you.
And just a reminder for everybody, Eric, you'll be in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
All right. So hopefully, I think the preferred deadline was Friday. If you haven't registered, just please do that so we can mastermind down there. But you know, Eric, you remember what you told me about why you decided not to be a fireman? You
Um,
don't remember your something about when they retired?
costs too much to be there.
Oh no, you
Oh,
said
yeah.
when,
We have an average, well, I heard the mortuary statutes for the city of West Palm Beach firefighters, and the average firefighter died 7 years in West Palm Beach after they retired. And I said, man, I'm getting out of this profession. So then years later, I did Tony Robbins' life mastery course, and he got up, and I don't know if he said in the world, but it must probably be in the United States. He said the average American dies 7.5 years after they retire. And I thought to myself, damn, it's not the job that's killing you, it's retirement that kills you.
but I think in particular, Eric, firemen who start early in their career retire rather young, which makes it even more tragic, correct?
Right.
And the question is, you know, does retirement kill you? I don't think so. I think probably lacking a sense of purpose is probably um, impacts severely, you know, your lifespan, right?
Right.
So, I'll never forget that part when you told me why you left the fire department. It was very, very impactful to me. And then,
Although, you know, Rob, you're exactly right, because my brother just retired. He was a top Mercedes salesman for the Mercedes dealer here, and he just retired about 6 months ago. And my cardiologist told me, he said somehow it came up, and he said to me, "What is your brother doing?" And I said, "Well, he's retired. He's not doing anything really." And he's a French guy. He goes, "Mr. Pruitt, you tell him, go do something, volunteer, get another job, do something." Because he said all his patients that he has, when they retire and they don't get another job or another hobby, or they don't volunteer, they all sit at home and do nothing. And he said to me, he goes, they ask their wives, what do they do? And they say they sit at home and watch TV and do nothing. And they tell me, oh, I stay busy. And he goes, those people all dead within 5, 6, 7 years after they retire. So it's exactly what you said.
yep. So, you know, having
So
a
we have to have a
purpose.
purpose. Man or woman without a purpose shall perish.
Yeah. So I appreciate you you sharing that. Look forward to seeing you in Baltimore, and maybe as we start to do our planning with our team members, we incorporate, you know, these principles in our own life, is to not only um what does reaching the goal mean, you know, what do they need to do to reach it, but what does that mean for them personally, right? Because, you know, we're all people first, and then we're team members or business people second. So if we can figure
Right.
out what does that mean, you know, and even make it a little bit fun, you know, let's do what we like to do. Let's do what we love to do, whether it's, you know, travel, buy a second home somewhere, do that for a living, and then let's back into how we get there, right? How do we help more people get there? You know, how do we bring team members on and you support their role? You know, Michael Gopi, I love your role with all your, you know, younger, newer to the business team members to, you know, have an impact and how that will have on you. So
Thank you.
I want to just wrap up. See, Leo, you're able to unmute yourself. Leo is not. We'll just, I want to ask, then Mr. Bobby Golden. You there, Bobby?
I'm here, Rob.
So, you know, what's the goal for you and some of your team members for 2025?
Well,
And why?
I haven't talked to any of the team members to see what their goals are. My goal, as it always is to do 60 deals. I have yet to do 60 deals in my career. I've come close several years, but I have not done personally 60 transactions in a year. So that's my personal goal.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, it means I accomplished something. That's really my honest answer. It's not about the money. I don't set monetary goals because the money will come. If I do my 60 deals like I want to do, I'll be very happy with the money that I make. So it's really a sense of accomplishment.
Okay. And do you and Jill have like particular travel plans or anything other than like the financial planning piece, Bobby?
Yes, that's kind of our Christmas thing. Instead of buying each other gifts, we schedule plans. Some of them are for, a week to 10 days. Some of them are just the weekend. So this year, we went down to Maryland to a golf resort for a weekend. We've gone to Vermont. Next year will probably be New Hampshire or Rhode Island. So it's those are the trips that we're taking. Nothing elaborate, all stuff in the United States, but I like the United States quite a bit. So the local trips are to my liking.
There's so much to explore that we have an advantage of, right?
I agree.
And what do you think of Mr. Durso's boy buying a house? Pretty impactful, right?
It's very impactful because I know what a big deal that is to Zach and to Bob. I've known Bob, as you know, for well over 20 years. And I remember going on vacations with Zach and, keeping my eye on Zach and that sort of stuff. So for him to be married, to have a child, to have a happy marriage and buy his first house is a pretty big deal.
All right. So those are the things I'm gonna leave it with that and say, if you can help your family, your team member, and I almost think of everybody I work with as part of the family because I really do care. And if you can help people figure out what they want to do, and it's not only about the money, but sometimes it's figuring out what does the financial success mean other than extra zeros in your bank account.
Yeah.
And using the term financial freedom, I can do whatever I want without having a definition of what you want leads to a lot of depressed, successful people who don't have a plan, right? And if you ever achieve something and it felt like a hollow victory, that's what it's about. You achieve your goal, you have a lot of money in the bank, but you don't have any passion about what you're going to do. That's true failure, in my opinion.
And I agree with what everybody said this morning. I know I came in late, but from what I heard, you have to do something. The broker that I used to work for, who was extremely wealthy, never has to work a day in his life. He said to me, Bobby, everybody says I should retire. Why should I retire if I love what I'm doing? And that makes a world of sense. He said, retirement is for people that are not happy doing what they're doing. And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep. Amen to that. Well, I know you're going to Baltimore, right, Bobby? I'll see you there, and we have a great lineup. So if you haven't registered, please join us in Baltimore, and let's start thinking a little bit next level when we do planning with our agents and team members. Okay?
The two Bobs will be there.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
You too, Rob.
Bye, guys, ladies.
Bye, Rob. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.